Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Dog Video. I'm your host, ADHD and attention coach, 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒. I'm here today to talk about managing money if you've got ADHD. This is a mindset video. A lot of times people have a tip or a trick or a thing to do, and it's very small in isolation, and it may or may not work for you depending on yourself and the situational variables. So, as a general rule, when you have ADHD and you're trying to manage money, I suggest kind of two ways of going about it. Number one, try to put a barrier between you and your money. Again, put a barrier between you and your money. God, I think about 10 years ago, I actually took a bowl, um, put a small block in it, and put my credit card in it, and filled the bowl with water and stuck it in the refrigerator till it froze. And I did a video because I didn't memorize the card. And the idea was if you wanted to buy something and you put your credit card on ice, you'd actually have to let it thaw before you could actually use it. The idea was to have to make you wait before you would actually use it. I tell this story all the time. Back in the 70s when I was in high school, in early 80s, on the weekend, I might see something I liked that was, wow, this is really, really pretty cool. And the way it was for me is in order to get it, I would have to wait until Monday. I would have to go to the bank, go into the bank when the bank was open to cash a check to get the money to go get the item that I wanted. Often by the time Monday showed up, I just didn't want it as much as I had thought I did. Again, you're building a pause into the point in time where you want something and you can actually execute that transaction. The second thing is to try to make it more difficult for you to actually make a purchase, right? So a lot of you love the convenience of Amazon, and I get it, but if you have a button and you just click it and it shows up 2 days later, number one, you made it really easy to get access to your money, and you just click it and it shows up 2 days later. There's really not a work. If you were to say, no, I've got to go buy this at a store, which sounds like a lot of effort, and it is, which is maybe why some of these other things aren't working, is because you've got to put that pause in there in a way to make it difficult. Now, there's a lot of people that I coach with this are listening to me. They go, yeah, but I can't do it that way. And there's got to be a way that I can still do this. And I go, okay, well, there's a lot of things that you can try, but the issue is if you've tried a lot, none of them are working. At some level, you have to kind of admit that you really kind of can't control yourself, and that you need to make it difficult to get to your money, or you might make it difficult to actually make the purchases by not allowing yourself to do it on Amazon. Now, again, there's different ways you can do this. Um, I would suspect some of you that are sitting there like, I can't think of any. For some of you that are the I can't think of any, what I want you to notice is you can't think of any because it requires thinking, which or problem solving, which is a bit of a challenge for people with ADHD. And maybe it is that emotionally you really don't want to do what you really need to do to manage that, which is another kind of tough eye-opening awakening. But a lot of ADHD comes down to just being honest with yourself. So anyway, the idea is you're having a hard time managing money is you back up and you use those two philosophies to try to design something that will work for you. Notice the emotional resistance that you have to it. Notice the rationalizations that you have to it. Because at the end of the day, many of you that need to manage your money really kind of don't want to manage your money. And that's why there's a bit of a challenge. So anyway, sometimes you have to have self. We got to have a talk with ourselves. Anyway, if you're new to our station, please hit the subscribe button. If you're an existing person who's been following us for a period of time, what are your thoughts? Have you found anything clever to get around this, or do you have a good way of putting barriers between you and your money and shopping? Also, we do what we do for you. Please don't hesitate to hit the like button. We certainly appreciate it. With that, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.